It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Kronenbourg, and this is the 1664 Blanc with a hint of citrus. I've been looking for this for a long time. It launched into TESCO. It's 5% ABV. Now, I had some of the French version, the actual Blanc from France, back last year, and I really enjoyed it, really enjoyed it. And then it was almost one of those situations where the moment I reviewed the French version, nothing to do with me, of course, it wasn't my influence that I reviewed it, that they decided to bring it out in the UK. There's the bottle cap. It's this lovely blue coloured bottle. It was just a case I reviewed the beer, and then there was an announcement that Tesco were going to start storing or having the Blanc in again, because this beer was out early 2000s. This beer was out in the UK, so they've had a bit of a relaunch with it, so it must have done okay. You get that if you have like a beer like, say, Leffe starts to have a bit of a resurgence, people start buying Leffe. The other companies then go, oh, what have we got in our locker? What can we bring out that's going to kind of challenge Leffe? And this is probably, I think it's Heineken, isn't it? Is it Heineken or Carlsberg? I call them the green companies. It's one of the green companies. It's Carlsberg Marston's Brewing Company. It's a nice bottle though, isn't it? Look at that. You don't really see blue bottles much. Now, one more thing regarding the bottle, and of course the style of the beer. Now, I'm not sure if this is a new, you have to put a comment in the comments box on this one, with a hint of citrus. Is that something new? Oh, it's brewed in France as well. Premium beer brewed in France and bottled in the UK. So it's French beer then. One finger, white head, good levels of carbonation, hazy, straw-coloured beer. Maybe they brought it back because it's hazy and straw-coloured. And people are like, oh, you know, there's a lot more of understanding these days of hazy, straw-coloured beers, IPAs. Maybe that was the decision by Carlsberg to bring it back to the UK. This hazy beer trend. It's certainly that. There's no sediment in the bottom of the glass. Let's get the aroma then. Yeah, it smells good. Blanc. It belongs to the wit beer. White, wit, Blanc, Blanche, all means white. It belongs to the white beer family. So this would have started out life as like a Belgium stroke French wit beer. Smells really good actually. Let's dive in. Cheers everybody. Do you know, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I was quite impressed with the French bottle that I had. I mean, this is technically the French bottle. So, from what I understand, if it's brewed in France and then bottled in the UK, they must be tanking it. They must be tanking the beer in great big lorries, great big tanks on the back, tanking the liquid to the UK and then bottling it in the UK. You'd think you'd be sloshing around in the back of the blooming wagon, wouldn't you? You know, it'd be flat as a pancake, but they have ways, don't they? they have ways of bringing the beer over all the way from France, and it's still carbonated, unless of course they had a bit of CO2 in the bottling. Maybe no, that might be a bit too technical. Maybe they have their ways of bringing the beer over without sloshing it around in the back of a truck and making it all flat and horrible. But my point is here, I like it. It's a good beer. It's a beer that if I was in Tesco shopping all of the time, I'm more of a Lidl and Aldi guy, if I'm honest. But if I was in Tesco all of the time, it's one of those, you just pick up a 4-pack of this and you put it in, get it in the fridge, cool it down. It's a decent smashable beer. So you get hints of citrus, you get hints of kind of lemon, maybe a touch of lime. It's got a really lovely, rich, creamy mouthfeel. It's predominantly lager based. It's a lager based beer. It's nicely carbonated. There's a little bit of a kind of like a peppery spiciness coming through. Yeah, look at the carbonation as I rock the beer back and forth. Look at the carbonation now chasing that head up the glass. Yeah, it's a decent beer, this. Decent. In terms of why they bring it all the way from France, the liquid, and bottle it in the UK, it just comes down to weight. And of course, glass bottles are quite fragile. They probably brought it over in glass bottle for a long time, and it was probably weight that made them change their minds, get rid of all that glass by bringing it from France. Just bottle it in the UK, just bring the liquid. And the other thing as well is glass breaks, doesn't it? It's quite fragile, it's quite you know, it could smash on the way over. So you're having less breakages over a long, I mean, it's coming over blooming from France, and it's got to cross a sea, for goodness sake. So that's probably the reason why it's tanked over in liquid and then bottled over here. And probably price as well. Price will probably make a massive difference. Carlsberg and Marston's, they've probably got a great big, massive, cheap bottling line that they can use, and they're just using it. That's the thing, isn't it? That's something else. So this disappeared. I'm like Inspector Cluedo, ain't I? Or whatever his name is. Was it Cluso or Cluedo? Or whatever. Anyway, that's probably the other reason why this beer disappeared. It was probably really expensive to bring over from France in the bottle. And of course, Carlsberg, they've recently purchased Marston's in the last two years. They own all the bottling plant now, don't they? They can do what they like with Marston's bottling plant. If they want to tank over liquid from France and go, hey ho, let's bottle Kronenbourg now in Marston's poor old pedigree factory where they were once producing fantastic pedigree, then they can do what they so wish, don't they? They can these days. I'm not calling them monsters, I'm not calling them dragons, it's just business. It's just business. They've made a business decision to tank over Kronenbourg Blanc. They found a way of making it work. Making it, you know, it's cheap now to bring into the UK. It's cheap to use the Marston's bottling plant to bottle this stuff. It's nice though, it's pretty good. I'll smash 4 of these. 5% ABV. Good drinkability, good head retention, nice carbonation, nice floral kind of fluffy notes in there. It's peppery, it's spicy, good creamy rich mouthfeel on there, and then there's a little bit of lemon with a touch of bitterness on the back end. Yeah, it's decent. I like that enough to give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.